It looks like creamy yogurt, but I have to remind myself this is actually glue. If you've ever watched a food commercial for McDonald's, for example, and you look at the burgers on the TV commercial and they look so big and like delicious, and then you go into the restaurant and you order the exact same burger and it looks nothing like it. It looks like a sad, less photoshopped version of it. And it's not just McDonald's, this happens like practically in every fast food chain. So there's this video going around right now that basically shows all the food hacks and tricks that the food industry uses for TV commercials, for magazines, for newspapers. For example, if you've ever watched a pancake commercial, isn't it weird that when they pour the syrup on top of the pancakes look dry? They don't look soggy at all. It's like weirdly perfect. This video claims that that's not actually pancake syrup, that is motor oil, like literally something that you use to fix your car. Essentially, for this video, what I thought we should do is expose the food industry and actually give these food hacks a try. I want to make two different versions of the food items, one of them following the food hacks and another one that is just the simple way of making the food that I would make at home. Let's expose the food industry. This is why I don't get sponsorships on my channel, but I would rather be poor than... Actually, no, I wouldn't. For our very first hack, this actually involves some beer and also some washing up liquid. I know, this is going to get weird. I don't drink alcohol, so this is actually alcohol-free beer. Not that that's important, but with YouTube demonetization these days, I am a good Christian boy. I love Jesus. Have you ever noticed that when you're watching a beer commercial, the way they pour the beer, it creates so much foam on top, like way more than if you ever saw it in real life? And this hack basically claims that the explanation for it is they actually add some washing up liquid mixed with the beer. So when you're watching it on TV, you're actually watching some soap and not just beer. So we're gonna pour both of them, one of them normal and the other one following the food hack, and let's see what happens. So for our first experience, we are going to pour the beer just normally like anyone would. That's a lot of foam. I set up a timer and this is what it looks like 5 minutes after. So this time around we're gonna add the soap. Oh, that's gonna be weird. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see what happens. Maybe a little more. I used the same amount of beer as well, so like we're being very scientific here, so let's see what happens in 5 minutes. It's been around 5 minutes and as you can see this foam lasts a lot longer. It looks a lot more like fluffier, but it also doesn't look real, like in real life it doesn't look like it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm not entirely sure if the first food hack actually made any sense. I mean, it was different, but it really wasn't that different. I feel like the dish soap didn't really add that much to the look of it. For this next one, this is probably one of my favorite ones because we're gonna use some maple syrup and also motor oil. This is to use in your home, in your bicycle, in your car. According to the hack, this is what they use for pancake syrup so that it doesn't absorb into the actual pancakes. And then we're gonna use some cardboard as well because I guess this is what they use to make pancakes look fuller and bigger on TV. So I'm gonna do the presentation as if I was doing this at home, and these are all the same type of pancakes. I'm gonna save the two nicest ones to put on top. That's a nice stack of pancakes, so then I would probably just add some butter on top. There we go, with a little bit of butter. And then last but not least, I would add the maple syrup, and this is the way we would present it. Oh shoot. Okay, that was a lot of syrup. It's not even been 30 seconds. As you can see, the syrup is just completely absorbed into the pancakes. Like, there's nothing like on top. So this time around, we're gonna put the same exact pancakes, but then we're also gonna add the cardboard on top. And keep in mind, this is the exact same camera angle and everything, so if this works, it works. It looks a lot taller and fuller. It kind of does look better, so we're gonna add the butter on top. And this time around we're gonna use some motor oil instead of syrup. Let's see if it's any different. Oh, Wow, that dripping does look beautiful. If we put the pancake side by side, I guess the cardboard really does work. Like, it looks a lot better. But the syrup absorbed kind of similarly, which was the whole point to use motor oil. It's because it's supposed to not absorb into the pancakes. But besides, I actually prefer the color on those ones, and I'm gonna eat them right now. So let's move on to the next one. Let me just tell you that it only gets weirder with this video, because for this next one we're gonna use some chocolate chip cookies, some whipped cream, and also some shaving foam. For this first one we're actually gonna be using some whipped cream, and we're gonna do like a little swirly effect on top. And basically the hack claims that if you use shaving foam, this is a lot easier and it doesn't melt. So we're gonna do the normal one first. That was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm sure this will melt in like, I would say 3 minutes. Let's give this a try. Oops. What even is this? Let's try again, but this is very difficult, guys. I promise. It doesn't look difficult, but it is. It almost looks like cartoon-like, and it literally actually doesn't move. Look at this. Like, you can turn it upside down and it stays exactly the same, while the other one is just melting away. So this one is 100% approved. I'm 99% sure that I'm about to blow you guys' mind, because what if I told you that every time you watch a cereal advert, you're actually not seeing milk, they actually use glue. According to the video, they use PVA glue instead of milk so that the cereal doesn't actually sink down. So I'm gonna prepare a normal bowl of cereal and then one using the method from the video, and let's see if it looks any different. I'm gonna start with the milk first, and I know no one agrees with me that the milk should go first, but I feel like if you're making a TV commercial, you don't want to add too much cereal, so it makes sense to do the milk first. And then I'm going to strategically add the cereal. Oh, that's so annoying. It goes straight to the bottom of the bowl. Let's try to add more. And then a few blueberries on top. And there you go. For the commercial version, they actually use some jelly. This is some jello that I just made in the bottom. And then to that, we're gonna add some glue. And like, wow, that does actually kind of look like milk. Let me add a little bit more to cover all the jello. There we go. I just looked on camera and it looks exactly like milk. They 100% use this. So like we did before, we're gonna add the cereal. And last but not least, the fruit. We could still add more cereal, but I think this is good enough to show you like the difference between the two. This is 100% what they actually use when they make these commercials, because I mean, that's just ridiculous, like the difference between the two. I can't make this stuff up, because for this next one, we're gonna use some baked potatoes, and wait for it, we're also gonna use some tampons. I would also like for you guys to keep in mind that I had to go to the supermarket and ask for tampons, and I really wanted large ones because I think that's how it's gonna work best. So I asked the lady for jumbo tampons, and she looked at me and said, "Do you mean large?" There's no such thing as jumbo tampons. I probably saw that in a movie. I am so sorry, girls watching this. I need to be educated on these. I kind of created this black backdrop for this one because I think this will make it easier to see whether this works or not. This food hack claims that if you soak a tampon in some hot water, that it's gonna be very steamy. And if you hide it behind the food item, it makes it look like the food item is so hot. It creates more steam. So we're gonna make one regular baked potato and then we're gonna hide some tampons behind it and see if it actually does create more steam. So here comes our first potato straight from the microwave. And this is the amount of steam that comes from our first one. Oh, you can barely see it on camera. There's literally not much steam. So here we go, the tampons. I feel like we should use 2 or even maybe more, just to make sure this actually works. There's like a little stringy thing to pull. Why is he not coming out? Wow, that really... I don't know how girls do it. Oh, turns out it was pretty simple. I have a feeling that this one is gonna work because what kind of person would come up with this unless he actually worked? Let me hold them by the little string so they don't get submerged. So we're gonna add the hot water. Oh my god, what happened to them? I'm no expert here, but I'm pretty sure this is not supposed to happen. So we're supposed to add this behind. It's quite steamy, but it's very difficult to hide that. It might work if you have like a big cake and it's like enough to cover the tampons. Otherwise, you're just gonna be making the weirdest commercial in the world. What if I told you guys that every time you see ice cream in a commercial, you're not actually seeing ice cream? So according to this food hack, because ice cream melts so quickly, they actually have to come up with this mixture that it's supposed to replace ice cream, and it's made of shortening, syrup, and food coloring, and it's supposed to look exactly like ice cream. And I saw the video and it did look very similar. I don't know if this is gonna actually work, but let's scoop out a normal scoop of ice cream and then compare it to the fake commercial ice cream. We all know what a scoop of ice cream looks like, but I'm still gonna do it for the video so we can see the actual difference. We might need to do more than one. So here's what a scoop of ice cream looks like. I mean, this will be melted in literally like 30 seconds. I don't even need to film it because we know that's just what ice cream does. According to the video, to make the fake ice cream, we need some shortening. Then we need some syrup. I don't know how much, so I'm gonna play it safe. And last but not least, food coloring. So I'm gonna make blue ice cream. It doesn't look a lot like ice cream, not gonna lie. Alright guys, here goes nothing. It doesn't even want to. Oh, shoot. Let's try to scoop it. I mean, I'm not gonna eat this, so. It looks like ice cream like about to melt. Side by side, it's kind of ridiculous that we went through all that work to come up with that. So I'm gonna say that if you keep your ice cream really cold, it's kind of realistic that they use real ice cream for adverts. Not to even mention the fact that getting this color would be practically impossible. With a lot of things that you see online, I think sometimes we take everything as in, this is a fact, this is true. When you watch a commercial, a lot of the times the stuff that you're seeing is not the real product. And I think this is definitely something that is important for everyone to know. But I do also have to say that not every single one of these hacks actually works. At least not for me. Maybe I didn't follow it correctly, which is a very likely scenario, but I felt like an investigator today, like trying these things out and see if this is like the secret for things to look amazing. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as well. There's a lot more hacks, especially for savory foods, so if you want to watch that next time, don't forget to give this video a like. It would mean a lot to me. And also, please don't forget to subscribe and switch my notifications on. It's Christmas. If you're thinking of getting me anything for Christmas, I don't have a PO box, so just tap that bell. I will count that as a present. I'm joking, but I love you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on my next one. Bye bye. If nothing else comes out of this video, at least I got myself some ice cream.